So today we'll start at the back of our mat. I'm going to sit on my heels like this, but you can also sit cross-legged, or if you'd like to sit, you can sit with your toes tucked and so your seat is a little bit higher, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll just start by setting our palms on top of our thighs and grounding in, letting our eyes drift closed, and connecting to our breath. Start breathing in and out through your nose if that feels comfortable for you this morning. And then just noticing how your breath feels today. Maybe it feels relaxed and a little bit sleepy still from just waking up. See if you can breathe deeply into your chest, your ribs, down into your belly. Letting your whole torso expand with air. As you keep consciously breathing, just noticing your breath. I'll talk a little bit more of today's theme. So I was looking for a nice poem to read or just something pretty to read. And I came across a quote from Maya Angelou, and it's very simple. It's not her usual poems. It's just a short little quote. And it says, "I got my own back." And I loved this quote because the way I interpreted it, it was more of from a place of like, I'm the best person to take care of myself. I didn't read it as vengeful or like, oh, the world is so cruel, like you have to have your own back and look out for yourself. I took it as we're in the best position to advocate for our own needs, to give ourselves what our bodies are asking for, whether that be a break, some sleep, some time outside, a kale smoothie and milkshake, but whatever it is, we know what we need and we can have our own backs by just giving ourselves what we need when we notice our body asking for it. So we can just think about that as we move through today's class. And we'll start with some back opening by just clasping our hands behind our backs. If you want to look at your screen, just interlace your fingers behind your back if that feels comfortable for you. And then as you breathe in, extend your arms long behind you, pulling your knuckles toward the ground, and breathe in as your heart lifts. As you exhale, round through your whole spine, finding some space throughout your back body. Moving on your own breath, just some seated cat-cows, opening your heart as you inhale, and as you exhale, rounding through your spine, finding some space, breathing into your back. We'll do 2 more rounds. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Last round. And then as you're ready, you can find stillness and unclasp your hands. And then as you inhale, extend your arms nice and long. And as you exhale, give yourself a big old hug with your right elbow under your left, reaching your hands around your shoulder blades, and then breathing deeply into your upper back. Feel your shoulder blades drift away from each other as you inhale. On your next inhale, extend your arms nice and long to your side. Give yourself another hug, this time with your left elbow underneath. Breathing into your upper back, finding space there. On your next breath in, extend your arms nice and long, and you can bring them to the ground and walk yourself out to all fours. So in your tabletop, you just want to stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, belly slightly lifted to protect your low back. And then we're just going to find some free movement. So maybe you want to do some more cat-cows, or maybe you want to do some wrist circles, getting your hips involved, big old circles. Or maybe you kind of just want to like wiggle your body like a snake. Just like whenever it feels good to get your spine moving, get your hips moving. So much of our movement that we do in our everyday is very structured or repetitive. Like we're sitting at a desk and we're typing, or we're running or doing like weights or push-ups or something. Everything's really structured movement. We don't get to move intuitively very much. So just take a few more moments here to give your body what it's asking for, whatever movement that looks like. Great. And then here we can find center again in our tabletop. And we'll tuck our toes, and keeping your knees generously bent, push yourself up into down dog. Straightening your knees as you're ready, and kind of pedaling through your feet. Pressing into your thumb and forefinger into the mat, fingers spread wide. Ears are drawn away from shoulders. Sits bones are reaching toward the sky. As you're ready, find stillness in your down dog. And then on your next inhale, we're gonna roll our way forward to plank, articulating through each vertebrae. And as you exhale, press back to down dog. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhaling, finding our way to plank, abs engaged, legs strong. Exhale, push to down dog. Inhaling to plank. We'll hold this for 1 breath. Legs strong, shoot energy through your heels. And exhale, back to down dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling. Shift forward, pulling your knee toward your nose and planting your hand or your foot between your hands. Untuck your left toes and drop your knee to the mat. Inhaling your arms up. Low lunge. In your low lunge, inner thighs squeeze together. Left hip flexor releases. Ribs knit in. On your next inhale, circle your arms down and around and cross your right elbow under your left. And if you can, also cross at your wrist, bringing your palms to touch for eagle arms. Beautiful. As you inhale, think about moving your elbows away from your face and then up to find opening through your upper back. Take 1 more inhale and 1 more exhale. And as you inhale, circle your arms down, around and up. Lower them to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift through your back knee, and bring your right leg back up to the sky before placing it back in down dog. As you inhale, roll forward to plank. Abs are firm, shoulders strong. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, make your body like a wave as you find plank. Exhale, lift to press back. Last one. Inhale, hold it for a breath here, shooting energy through your heels. Energy from crown of head to toes. Push back to down dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up toward the sky. As you exhale, pull it in towards your knee, into your nose, and place it down between your hands. Untuck your back toes, and then inhale, lift up to the lunge. Inner thighs energizing toward one another. Abs are slightly lifted, shoulders drawn down away from your ears. And as you inhale, let your arms go down, around, and up, this time with your left elbow under your right. And maybe if you can, crossing at your wrist for your palms to touch. Before lifting up, think out, away from your face, and then up a little higher. Finding space through your upper back. Breathing into the space between your shoulder blades. Breathing in and breathing out. As you inhale, release your arms down, around, and up. And lower them to the mat, framing your foot. Lift through your back leg, tucking your toes, and inhale your left leg up toward the sky before lowering it down to the mat for down dog. We'll roll forward to plank, and this time lower our knees to find tabletop. So if you are not going to lower to the ground today, we'll all do one round of bird dog, and then if you don't want to lower to the ground, we'll just stay at bird dog. So starting with that, we're going to inhale our left leg long behind us and extend your right leg arm to the front of the room. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right leg, left arm lifts. Exhale, lower. So invitation to lower to the mat if you would like. If not, stay here and do 3 more rounds of bird dog. If you are lowering to the mat, lower to the mat in one straight line. And bring your palms under your shoulders. And we're just going to peel our heart off the mat without using our palms, really energizing through our low back. So on an inhale, peel your heart up off the ground and lift your palms so you can really feel your low back engage. Exhale, lower. 2 more times, just like that. Inhaling, heart lifts. Feel the warmth in your low back. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhaling, palm lifts. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. And we'll push up and back, all meeting in tabletop. From tabletop, we'll tuck our toes and find down dog. Pressing back, bringing your chest toward our thighs. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up toward the sky and pull your knee through as you exhale, planting on the mat. Option to take low lunge here, or if you'd like, rise to high lunge from here. Inhaling your arms up. Take your hands to your hips and notice if your left hip is kind of behind your right hip. And then just help your hips square by pulling your right hip back and your left hip forward. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, plant your left palm to the mat beside your right foot. And inhale your right arm up toward the sky. Finding an easy twist. Twist from the navel. And breathe deeply as you exhale to twist further. Inhale, circle your right arm down to frame your foot. And listen carefully here. You're gonna keep your right foot just where it is, and then just lift your left foot up a little bit and step it in about a foot. So in pyramid pose, you want a long spine, so if you need to, you can put your hands on your shin and inhale, find length. If you'd like, on your exhale, you can fold a little deeper. Inner thighs are engaged, drawing all of your energy into your midline. Inhale here, exhale. Bring your fingertips to the ground and walk them in front of your right foot, maybe about 12 inches. Lift your left foot off the ground finding standing split. Spin all 5 toes toward the mat. And as you exhale, bring your left foot down to meet your right. In forward fold, just let your head hang heavy. The back of your neck is long, shoulders away from your ears. And you can bend your knees as much as it is you need to feel comfortable. Before rolling up, bend your knees generously, and then slowly roll your way up to standing, your head coming last, and then rolling your shoulders back. Bring your hands to your hips and step your right leg to the back of your mat, finding high lunge on the second side. Again, option here, if you'd like to do low lunge, go ahead and lower your knee. If not, stay in high lunge and take that manual modification of moving your left hip back, your right hip forward to square your hips to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms lift. Shoulders drawn from ears. Exhale, lower your right hand to the mat as your left hand extends toward the ceiling. Twist from your core and use the energy pushing into the mat from your right hand to rotate your heart toward the sky. On your next inhale, lower your left hand to frame your foot. And again, keeping your left foot just where it is, pop your right foot in, maybe a foot or so that your right toes are facing the top right corner of your mat. Inhale, find length, maybe bringing your hands to your shin. And if you'd like, on your exhale, you can fold deeper. Micro bend your front knee if you typically hyperextend through your joints. One more inhale. And as you exhale, plant your fingertips on your mat, walking them forward of your foot as your right toes lift from the mat, finding standing split. Send energy through your right heel and spin all 5 of your right toes so they point toward the mat. As you exhale, lower your right leg to meet your left, and take a generous, juicy forward fold. Here, if you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows, bend your knees, and sway side to side. Let your head hang long like a bowling ball. When you're ready, find center in your forward fold. Plant your palms to the mat and step back to plank pose. Untuck your toes and lower your knees to the ground. And lower your body all the way to your mat in one straight line. We'll do our last little round of low back strengthening here. This time, extending our arms long behind us. Let's start with energizing through our legs first. So press all 10 toenails into the mat. Engage through your legs so that your kneecaps lift off the mat. Abs are engaged. Shoulders are soft. And as you inhale, peel your heart off the mat. Spin your thumbs up toward the sky. Exhale, lower. 2 more just like that. Inhaling, lifting, feeling your low back activate. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhaling to lift, feeling strong. Exhaling to lower. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Gently press your leg back through tabletop. Bringing your knees as wide as your mat and your big toes to touch. And finding child's pose. Releasing your low back here, breathing deeply into it. After all of the work it just did today, and all of the work it does every day to carry us through our lives. On your next breath in, gently press yourself upright, bringing your knees together and swinging your feet around to your right so they're out in front of you at the front of your mat. So here we're going to take a forward fold. You can take your knees hip width apart or your feet hip width apart if that's more comfortable. If not, you can have them touching. Either way, we want to engage through our legs, flex all 10 toes up toward the ceiling. Breathe in, growing tall out of our pelvis. And exhale, hinging forward at the hips and just placing our hands on either side of our calves. The goal here is not to touch the toes. It's just to find length through our spine. Taking one more inhale in this active version. And then as you exhale, I invite you to spin your palms so the back of your hands on the mat, palms up, and you just round through your spine. So no more muscle engagement, really just opening through your back body. You can let your head hang heavy and breathe in to that whole posterior chain that's getting a nice opening right here. On your next inhale, you can flip your palms and use them to press yourself up to center. And then we'll plant our feet to the mat, hip width apart, and gently, with your arms extended in front of you, lower yourself to the mat, bit by bit, articulating through your whole spine until you've landed on your mat. Bring both knees into your chest and take any movement that your body's asking for. You can rock side to side or paint circles on the ceiling with your knees. When you're ready, find stillness here, and then lower both feet to the mat. Lift your hips just 1 inch off your mat and shift them a couple of inches to the right, and then place them back down on the mat. Extend your arms wide like an airplane wings, and let your knees fall easily to the left. Breathe into this gentle twist and relax both of your shoulders down to the mat. On your next breath in, use your core to bring your knees back into your midline. Plant both feet on the mat again. Lift your hips 1 inch off your mat and shift them to the left a couple of inches, placing them back down on the mat. Again, you can extend your arms long and then let your knees fall easily to the right side of the room. Upper body is soft, breathing easily into our low back for this twist. As you breathe in, again, use your core. Draw your knees back into your center, planting both feet on the mat, lifting your hips, and then just placing them back down in neutral. Take your knee or your feet as wide as your mat, and then windshield wiper your knees back and forth to both sides of your mat. Releasing any last tension in our low back. Just taking it easy here. Find stillness centered with both knees pointing up toward the ceiling. And then let your inner thighs open up as your knees draw to either side of your mat and your toes, your soles of your feet come to touch on the ground. Finding reclined butterfly pose. If you feel more supported, you can bring your palms to your hip points. Breathe into your inner thighs as you feel them open and just relax here. Option to stay here for your Shavasana, or you can extend your legs long to opposite corners of your mat, and you can rest your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly to feel yourself supporting yourself here. Option also to take Shavasana in the fetal position on your left side. As you settle into whichever position feels right today, release any effort you are making to control your breathing. Breathe easily. Feel where the mat is supporting your body and let yourself sink into it, feeling safe here. We'll stay here for a couple of minutes in stillness. Slowly bring your awareness back into your space by taking a nice big deep breath. And maybe introducing some movement to your body by wiggling your fingers, your toes, making circles with your wrists and your ankles. And taking a big stretch like you've just woken up. Extend your legs long and your arms long overhead. Just waking up for your day. Bring your knees into your chest, giving them a hug before rolling to your right side to find a fetal position to rest there for a moment. You can use your right upper arm as a pillow. Keeping your eyes closed, gently press yourself up to a seated position. From here, you can draw your palms together to touch at your heart center to close our practice. Thank yourself for showing up today, for supporting yourself, giving yourself what your body was asking for today. And if you'd like, you can bow forward, saying namaste. Slowly blink your eyes open and come back into your space.